One of the most profound inner dynamics we carry within us is the relationship between the inner child and the inner critic. Both are born out of our past experiences, and both are trying to protect us, even if their methods seem harmful. The inner child is the purest, most sensitive part of your mind, both conscious and unconscious. Call it the most sensitive part of your psyche. They carry your earliest experiences, times you felt abandoned, unheard, unloved, or even unsafe. This child doesn't grow old with you in the way your body or intellect does. They remain frozen at that moment of emotional interruption. So what happens is that part of you still seeks love the way you did back then, through over-explaining, people-pleasing, playing small, and even fearing rejection. It's not sabotage. It's basically survival. Meanwhile, the inner critic is like a scared parent inside your head. They saw you get hurt before, and they've sworn to never let that happen again. But they were never taught compassion. They only know how to protect you through shaming you, pressuring you, or scaring you into silence. And when this critic wins, you betray yourself first, so that no one else gets the chance to do it. You call yourself too much, or even not enough. You don't risk vulnerability because the critic says you won't survive being disappointed again. The real issue isn't that these parts exist. It's that they often run the show unconsciously. We don't recognize that what we think is personality. Being quiet, overly accommodating, self-critical, emotional avoidant. All those are just, most of the time they're just coping strategies built around wounds. Now, healing begins when you reparent yourself. When you hear the inner child and say, you are safe now, comfort yourself. Be compassionate. When you acknowledge the inner critic and say, thank you, but I've got it from here. When you stop trying to shut them up and instead start listening with compassion. Because your healing doesn't come from denying these parts. It comes from integrating them, from giving the child what they never got and teaching the critic a new language. One rooted not in fear, but in self-trust and emotional maturity. My people, that's when you begin to feel whole and not empty. That's when you begin to live and not just survive. Heal, my people. Heal.